Have you ever wondered who decides which stories feel true to us? You see, let me tell you something. The system doesn't just govern the laws, it also governs the perception, the way the masses perceive reality, the way me and you perceive reality, which is obedience over understanding, loyalty before question. That's what the loyalty. And here's the real question we must ask: is the narrative shaping reality, or is reality shaping the narrative? Because if a system wants you to feel powerless abroad, it can also make you feel powerless at home. It's easier to control people who believe systems are immovable and competitions are unwinnable. You understand? You believe that the system can never be defeated. That's what they fed you through these education systems. We are taught that power lives somewhere far away, in governments, in institutions, in flag, in title. And that's the illusion that they have perfected over time, because people built these systems. That's what people mostly overlook. Me and you actually built the system. We are the system. Ordinary workers show up, communities function, resources move. You understand? Without participation, nothing runs. Without you joining the army, those people who you perceive to have power will not have anyone to control and tell to go into another country and invade and also commit genocide. You are not ready for that conversation. Now, let me be clear. This isn't anti-people. It is not anti-patriotism. Love for one's country isn't the problem. Manipulated patriotism is. When patriotism is used as a shield to stop questions, to justify exploitation, to silence dissent, it stops being love for a nation and becomes loyalty to a narrative, loyalty to propaganda, loyalty to lies. And nowhere is this clearer than now. Or let me just say, nowhere is this clearer than in how global powers manufacture consent for foreign intervention. And what has happened to Venezuela is a perfect example. We are told the story is about morality, about drugs, about democracy, about saving people from themselves. But somehow, the same countries telling the story, USA, also happen to have a long history of intervening where oil and strategic resources exist. Sanctions collapse these economies. Ordinary people suffer, you understand? Then after suffering, this is used as proof that intervention was necessary. And this is not a coincidence. It's propaganda by design. They design propaganda, guys. Muammar Gaddafi is another perfect example. He wasn't a perfect leader, and no leader is. But when he pushed for African financial independence and a gold-backed currency and being less reliant on Western institutions, the narrative changed, and all of a sudden he is a dictator. He wasn't a political problem, he was a moral problem. Now the story became urgent, intervention became necessary, and Libya collapsed into chaos, not into freedom, into chaos, open air slave markets, and endless instability. So ask yourself, guys, did Africans gain power after Gaddafi fell, or did they lose it? Because apparently he was a dictator. He was the problem, right? That was the propaganda being pushed. This is why narratives matter, because they decide who is labeled a threat and who is called a dictator, and who gets removed for the greater good. You know them, the greater good. The system survives because we are taught to accept these stories without tracing who benefits, which companies benefit from the oil. So wake up, guys. Watch the narratives you're fed, especially when they're trapped in morality and patriotism. Because power isn't actually abstract. It's not mystical. It's socially constructed. We are the power, but we don't see that. And the first step to changing it is refusing to believe it's inevitable that the system will take over us always.